Hi there. I'm going today to do some. Today I'm going to do some review of the next book that I have bought and read, and probably this is going to be the very last book about in the topic of pregnancy and childbirth. And this book is of Katherine Graves, which is called a hypnobirthing book. Sorry. I actually saw one of the suggestions of one of the Facebook groups I'm signed up for, and a few ladies on VBAC groups have suggested to read this book as a really good method to prepare for someone who wants to prepare themselves for home birth and try the methods of hypnobirth. And I was really actually lucky because I got this book in charity for a bit cheaper price, and I said, okay, let me get this book, read it, and we'll see what's gonna happen next. So unfortunately, the book, as you can see, is quite very big. There's not much pages to read, so it took me a very short while to read it. The author is writing in very humoristic, very simple language, so it is kind of entertaining. Really read this book as well. But my thoughts on that more or less is there's some pluses, but I think I didn't find this book so effective or very informative. Maybe because I was expecting more of of actual hypnobirth methods and to read more about hypnobirth itself. But this book definitely would be a good introduction for someone who is, let's say, first time pregnant and who doesn't really doesn't know much about what's happened within the body, or who basically didn't really read much through before about what is happening with our bodies and what's happening during the birth. In fact, from my kind of down points that I've noticed in the book, there were actual, not maybe a copy-paste statements from other books. The one book I have just made a review about, Ina May Gaskin, Natural Quiet Childbirth, I think that is called. I forgot already the title. But yeah, basically I could find literally the statements, like almost, I'm not saying she copy and pasted, but it was almost as she had read this book of Ina May Gaskin and just put the ideas or the knowledge into her own book. And for someone who just read that book, Ina May's book, it was really kind of shocking to find, okay, I just read literally the other book, so find the facts and statements and read in a very similar way was really bizarre for me to read. Another thing, as I said, except that there was not so much information about the hypnobirth itself. I would find statements such as hypnotherapy is the most effective of all complementary therapies. I just quoting it from her book. If you write statements like that, you need to have literally evidence for this, or some kind of statistics, because I think for a person who like to think in a way very critically about something, statements like that don't really help to anyone. There was a time I was reading as well a book about attachment parenting, and that's gonna be another video probably. I just said I'm not gonna make another videos about it. Anyway, and statements like that, when you don't really have much evidence saying that something is the most effective of methods or the most effective of, I don't know, anything, and then you don't support that statement by any evidence. It's just purely a statement, that's it, move on. It's not gonna help to a reader saying, okay, you're right, actually I value you more, or your writing is very valuable right now for me. So as I said, I wish that this book would have way more methods, way more actual information, even, you know, actual statistics and information about the hypnobirth itself. And there's literally maybe like few methods inside of how can you breathe in and out, what kind of methods can you use, visualizations and affirmations, which is really good. But I was really expecting an entire book will be like that. But what you have inside is basically connection between mind and body. Then she's writing about how to prepare your baby and body for birth. You know, this kind of things I think you can find in different books, which, you know, which are definitely only focusing on that. So either the title is a little bit misleading, or again, probably that would be a very good introduction book for someone who is first time pregnant, is thinking to how to prepare herself to give birth, and really don't know anything about what's happening, so what's gonna happen. So yeah, this is my thoughts on that. I just mentioned this is a down points which I found in the book. Obviously there are some positives as well. It's not that the book is horrendously bad or something. What I found very useful, it was she mentioned about the phrases, sometimes sentences that you can use when you are fighting with nurses or midwives, because that's what usually happens. I mean, not usually, but sometimes. When you're in the hospital and you just want to stand up for yourself, and some people are not really willing to listen, or they just have a different, better ideas for your continuum of birth. Sometimes it's good to use some kind of confident phrases which just show them that you are really serious, and you just want to stand up for yourself. So she's actually writing a list of those phrases which literally you can memorize it and use them, which I found very useful, because so far I haven't found any book which can help this way. Then she writes as well about about different kinds of births. She mentioned what to expect and what to do when you're thinking about home birth. That's actually my decision to go for home birth this time. I'm currently 32 weeks pregnant. So, and just literally not a long time ago I changed my mind. Instead of going to hospital, I'm gonna do a home birth. So that was really useful for me in my preparation for home birth. She also gives some kind of ideas how to use natural remedies into helping starting the birth and induction and so on. But again, it's not really much related to hypnobirth, at least in my point. Obviously this whole video is my personal view on that. There probably are people who might not agree with it, so I'm perfectly fine. You can always comment, you can always say your thoughts, what you think about this book. Overall I would give 2 or 3 stars on 5. It was not really the best book I've ever read. It didn't really wow me so much, but again, it has some points, good points and bad points. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, if you would be interested, this is a hypnobirthing book by Katherine Graves, and yeah, just let me know what you think. See you later.